you're smart. You're at the right place and you're doing the right thing by continuing your journey to success, and you're always being a student. Right now, you're Hustle Headquarters 360. I'm your platform partner, Jackson 360. And in this video, we are going to really examine Black businesses conflict resolution at its finest. Well, actually, it's not at its finest. It's at its worst. A woman, customer is getting her hair done at a hair salon, and she had a $45 bill. For whatever reason, she wasn't happy. She's going to leave without paying, and she pulls out the itchy, or you may call it the blicky, you know. And then, yeah, things go escalate. And then just watch the video. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit. First of all, but shout out to Willie D. Okay, make sure y'all follow his Instagram page. Most of these videos I'm looking at are on his Twitter page. And I'm just giving my comments from my perspective on how it can help us grow. But let's take a look at the video.
Why do people feel like they can do shit like that? That's right, cool. Shit. Like, no. Cool, fine. Just let her go. Ain't no silly fine. Like, if you pay her 45, it's okay. Not about. No, you're not going to pay her 45, bro. Because I'm a client. It's the principle of the point. Like, if you feel for your satisfaction, it's more real. You ain't got to shoot. Get your bum ass out. Weekend, bum ass.
All right, T. That was a lot. A lot happened there. A whole lot happened. So let me give you my perspective. First and foremost, I find this extremely interesting that this woman was, we've all been in situations like this. Let's be clear. Meaning you went to a business, a Black owned business, and you probably weren't happy with the service. And so you maybe didn't want to pay or you wanted to complain. What do you do in that situation? I mean, sometimes you just want to support the business. And then sometimes you're like, you know what? I'm not paying them shit. But I find it interesting that this woman decided to pull out the gun on these young Black entrepreneurs, these Black women. And here's my thing. Where's this same energy when they're at non-Black businesses? We don't normally see this type of activity, somebody pulling out a gun when they're at an Asian-owned type of establishment. And we seeing Black women being beat down by some of these Asian women all over the past 2 to 3 years. I mean, there's protests of shutting these places down because Black women are getting beat down. At no point did a customer gun and get deadly with each other. See, that's a huge problem dealing with self-hate and also how we perceive each other and the value of each other. We really think we can take advantage of each other. And that's on both ends. I'm not just looking at at just the customer, but also the business owner. Because as a business owners, you also have to have a high quality of service that you provide. So what type of service did they provide that would make her want to get to the point where she pulls out a gun, And also, look, I'm being a little controversial here, but let's look at what happened. You see, with these women, they got into a real heated debate. The fact that she had that gun and things got so real, that really calmed that situation down. So that goes to show whenever there's some serious consequence, we find a way to resolve the conflict. And so in this case, it was, hey, she had to pull out the banger. I don't condone that at all. But imagine if she didn't pull out that banger. This could have been a huge fight, and this could have escalated to shooting and more violence at a later date. This typically happens when you do not have men involved in leadership positions. And I say this not being sexist. I say it because men, they understand that things could get violent at any time and that consequence is always present. So when you're dealing with a man in leadership, typically a strong man is going to be disciplined enough to not even allow things to escalate. They're not even going to get into too much disrespect. I'm talking about this was a man that's really solid in his leadership. He's not going to be that emotional to the point where he pulls out a gun. I mean, because this could have went bad for everybody. 'Cause let's be clear, just because you got a gun, that doesn't mean other people don't have a gun, especially business owners. A lot of business owners many time can be packing all type of guns and weapons, and this could have led to a huge shootout. And these are mothers here. So now how many, I bet you these moms, amongst all three of them, there's at least 3 kids involved. All of these women have one child. I mean, you can pretty much count on that, if not multiple children. And that's me assuming, but we know it's a very highly likelihood based on statistics, okay? Not saying it's judgmental, just based on statistics. So how bad could this hurt our community when we don't have men that are there to help de-escalate the situation, people being cool, calm, and collective? Not to say that that men aren't doing the same thing too, because this is just rampant amongst the whole community, guys. So there's no excuses for this, but learning lessons from this is have this same energy across the board. Don't just have this with black people. So if this is how you want to do, man, we need conflict resolution. We need therapy, and we need to treat each other better in terms of business. Because for $45, is it worth for you to pull out a gun and then threaten all these lives in the shop over $45? No, it wasn't even about the 45. It was about disrespect. Because I'm pretty sure that girl's got $45 in her pocket. She's about to spend another $45 getting her toes done at another salon. You best to believe it. Look at her hair. She's finna go to the beauty salon and get her hair done, get some color put in. So she's got the money. This is just an example of just utter disrespect and a society that is out of control without the guidance of God and the guidance of principles of discipline. So shout out to Willie D for the video. Let me know what you think about this.